Alright, Prospector Phil here. Got another pocket watch video for you. The last one I made was freaking awesome because I spooged some oil all over my jewels and I fixed a pocket watch and completely pissed off the three horologists in the world because apparently I don't know how to spooge my jewels correctly. Learned a lot of things. Frobob on Reddit, your comments were uh, highly informative, to say the least. I learned a lot of things, like I said, and let's just say I'm not a professional watchmaker, and if you're doing this for a living, spooging oil on your jewels as a horologist, then you probably shouldn't be watching my videos. But at the same time, if you want to spend $200 to deal with a cranky old man that's going to insult you to fix a $50 pocket watch, then be my guest. But that's not my goal. Alright, and by the way, here's the pocket watch from my last video. I just opened this sucker at several days now since I made that video. Even opened this thing. Stupid. Ha ha! Guess what? It's still running. So yeah, I didn't spend $250 to clean a $50 pocket watch, but I accomplished my goal. And there it is. It's still running. Yay! And besides, if you can't learn anything, if you can't have fun, then what the heck are you doing? Today we're going to try something else, see who else we can piss off. This pocket watch here, the majority of the gold plating has worn off over time. The pocket watches they usually have on the inside, when they're gold plated, they'll have warranted for 10 years, 25 years or whatever. That's usually just a reference to how thick the gold plating is. You can see the brass, the base metal, is showing through there, and we only have this circle of gold plating left. So the plating does wear off, and it just, on a lot of them, it leaves a lot to be desired as far as looks go. So I'm not going to cover the ethics of doing this, because if I do, then who knows what flack I'm going to catch. But basically what I want to show you is a quick and easy way to polish this up and make it look nice. And that's it. So all we're going to do, I'm going to take a flex tool here. I switched from a Dremel to, this is just my little bench grinder that I got from Harbor Freight. And the reason I got it is because it's got the flex tool on it, and I don't have a giant motor in my hand. Which happens to be a lot easier to work with. I don't have the money to buy a fancy jeweler's like a Fordham flex tool or anything, but this one was like $45, and it works pretty good for, well, besides catching all the hairs and stuff. It works pretty good for doing little fine work without having some big heavy tool in your hand. Now there's a couple ways you can do this. I'm just going to use a polishing disc. This is one that I got. Hold on. They come in all your little Dremel sets right there. You get the little polishing discs with them. It's just like a little cotton disc, and all you need in your flex tool or in your Dremel or whatever is a mandrel with a screw end on it. We'll just put a new one on there. Now, you can see all the little hairs hanging off of this. You definitely do not want to put this on the inside of your pocket watch. I've seen just the finest, thinnest hairs screw up the works. Well, you can't even hold on to it. The other thing you can do is, if you want to get serious about it, you can pick up one of these sets. This is a polishing disc set I got from Rio Grande. Costs about $30, but it gives you really similar, and these are almost like a rubber, some sort of, I don't even know what it is, but you could see that you can go from, well, maybe you can't see, but it goes from coarse to medium to fine to very fine high sheen on the different discs. And you have everything from discs to, you know, these little cylinders here. And this is a really nice set if you get into the jewelry work more, but it's also $30 plus shipping, so it's a little bit more pricey than your stupid little polishing disc here. We're going to show you the cheap and easy way to do this, and all you need is a Dremel or a flex tool that you can turn on and go, and then you need some sort of polishing compound. What I've got, I don't even remember where I picked this up, but it's just some regular polishing compound that, man, I got freaking dog hairs all over on this thing. The dog hairs usually don't help with the polishing. Maybe they do, but I don't know. And really all you got to do is put a little bit of that on your little buffer pad. Turn that on, get some on there. Yeah. Now let's see what mess we can cause here. We're just going to rub that in. Rub the polishing compound in with the little disc. What? Yeah, you definitely don't want to do that. Be careful with these, because you can really screw up your tool or your whatever you're working on if you start banging the tool against it. So we want to get that, and all I'm doing is polishing the brass on there. And the funny thing about brass is when it's polished up, it looks a heck of a lot like gold. Well, I can always sand that off. It's a good thing I'm going to piss off the 3 horologists in the world, because I got nothing better to do. But alright. Now that was just a quick polishing job. It wasn't very technical or precise or anything, but you guys know me. Now I just want to take a polishing cloth here and just kind of rub that down. These are something else you get from Rio Grande. Sometimes you can find them at jewelry supply shops. I pick them up when I find silver flatware sets, because they usually have something like this. This one's a silver polishing cloth, silver jewelry polishing cloth. Sometimes you can find them in with the silver plated flatware. I don't know exactly what they're made of. Any sort of soft microfiber cloth would probably work on these. It doesn't take a whole lot to see. And right there is where I dinged it with the tool. That's not too bad. You could take that out, but I don't think that one's really going to matter a whole lot. Maybe sometime I'll show you how to buff out little stupid crap with this. You just, take a fine grit sandpaper and go across it and just work finer to finer, and then either use the little buffer like we just did, or you can use that Rio Grande polishing set, or, oh, it's silicone. Yeah. Well, there you go. Anyway, look at that. Couple minutes and that back end of that pocket watch is starting to look really, really good. There are a few spots on there that, I might go over with the polishing set, just because that does bring out a really nice, brilliant sheen on it. But I mean, basically one step there. If I really wanted to clean this up, I don't even know. I don't think that I know this one does. Well, let's see. Maybe it does run. Oh my gosh, it's running. Okay, so I'm doing this on a running pocket watch, but it was one that, I mean, the case was just ugly as all get out. And as I said in my last video, my main goal here is to get my money back out of this collection, and you can't really do it if you got a whole bunch of broken pocket watches that are just fugly as all get out. You gotta put in a little bit of work, and then you can increase the value of things. Uh, Again, if I was going to sell this, I would obviously say, well, I polished it up. A lot of the gold plating was coming off on it. And so, over time, it is going to go back to how it looked before. And you can still kind of see here. I mean, I could finally sand that down and make it look better. But it's not really going to matter because, I mean, whoever I sell this to, if I do sell it, is going to know that, well, that case is pretty well worn and it's just been polished up to make it look pretty. And, most people, if you're going to spend $50 on a pocket watch and you know that going into it, it's like, well, who really cares? I'm not buying the frickin' Mona Lisa here. Haha, look at that. Got a couple little dings in there that were pre-existing. That one right there, ooh, those would be kind of a pain because you'd actually have to get down underneath the gold plating to get those out. And so I'm not sure about that. But so there you go. Look, that is really nice and shiny and bright. You can still see right there the difference because the brass, it's going to corrode. The gold, I mean, gold is awesome. You can leave it under the sea for 1,000 years and it's not going to do a whole lot of nothing. The brass is a soft metal. It corrodes a lot easier, but it's still pretty good. But you can tell the difference between the brass and the gold. But still, that does look a lot better than it did. And I could do it on the rest of it too. I mean, the side might need it here and whatnot. But so there you go. All you need is some freaking polishing compound and little flex tool with a buffer wheel on it or whatever. You get your Dremel, and it cost me a couple minutes of time and maybe a ½ ounce of elbow grease, and I didn't have to spooge any jewels, and most I'm gonna piss off 3 people. So and quite often when I piss them off, they teach me something, which is really cool because I love to learn. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this quick little video, and that's how you can polish up your ugly pocket watches and make them look better. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time. Or not. We see.